Welcome to the Great League, and this is a fun team. No, not really a fun team, but a very meta team to climb. And Harsh, as you can see, is at the high 2300 yellows, and he's going to climb to 2400. You can also run this team. So, picking up the Nightmare lead in the first match, we safe switch to our Deoxys defense. And spoiler alert, this is hard counter city. We had the worst possible lead on the worst possible lead matchup, and now we have the worst possible save switch. But we have baited out the Sableye, and that is the aim of this game. That we want to bait out the Ghost type with our Deoxys, so that our Medicham with the power up punch can sweep in the back. And we've been able to do that, but he can farm us down here. As you can see, we just miss out on a move, and to be honest, the Psycho boost won't have done all that much. So you're going to bring in Noctowl and just commit to the farm down. But the problem here is that he's going to reach a return plus a foul play. So we are going to throw the move just before he reaches his second foul play. So this is going to be a return. It's going to do quite a bit of damage. As you can see, it does around 50-55% damage. And we were like counting his moves, and we throw the sky attack just before he reaches his next foul play. And now it's all up to our Medicham with 2 shields versus the opponent 2 mons with 2 shields, and in comes a Shadow Dragonite. This is looking like an instant loss because it's a hard counter city. This is also not a hard counter, but definitely Dragonite has a good matchup. We're going straight for the pop. We need to ramp up the counter damage, and he lets the first one go. We have to shield twice because the Dragonite is definitely going to reach a couple of Dragon Claws. And as you'll see that even though the Dragonite is out damaging us at this point, but once we get the second power up punch off, we're going to do even more damage than the Shadow Dragonite. He understands that, and he gives us his second shield, or his first shield rather, and we are forced to give our second shield on the Dragon Claw, but we can counter him down. So this is the power up punch Medicham, and since the Registeel has literally no pressure with his lock on, we're going straight for another power up punch, and we are hoping that the Registeel lets this go because this will do a bit of damage, and he does. And we have to make a catch, and we switch exactly, and we are able to catch. Well, he had to throw anyway, but now it's still a like tall task. Luckily, the Registeel does not overcharge. He does not underfarm, so that he gets extra farm. So we are going straight for the power up punch here. Does he shield? He does not, and now it's a race. Can we counter him down before he reaches a move? And yes, we do. So we win an incredible game. This was one of the best games that we've played with this team. And as you can see, this team just puts in crazy amounts of work. Super hard countered on the lead, super hard countered on the safe switch, and a soft counter on the back, but we still able to win that game. And we are going to be showing you quite a few games with this team, and you can easily run this team, and you can climb. You can even run Ice Punch on the Medicham. Initially, we were running the Ice Punch, another terrible lead. To be honest, we picked up a lot of bad leads. There are not a lot of ghost types on the lead. And in comes the Registeel. He's going for a move. We are not going to shield this because if he brings in a Sableye, this shield is not going to make any sense. In comes a Deoxys, and that's kind of good because Deoxys is a hard answer to our Medicham, especially because we are not running the Ice Punch, so we really can't do much against it. But this is absolutely fine. Even though we are debuffed, 2 Thunderbolts does put him under half, and he's forced to throw a Thunderbolt, otherwise we would have reached another move. And that's looking absolutely fine because we can bring in the Noctowl, we can even tank a move if required, and then we can give our Medicham 2 shields, and hopefully with Deoxys out of the way, he does not have another answer to our Medicham. Usually teams do not run like double Ghost or Deoxys and a Ghost. It's very rare to run such a team. So Medicham with shield advantage or with his opponent gone is great. So we're going to switch to our Medicham. As you can see, we are tapping on the Medicham furiously. In comes the Registeel, and it's a battle of the Medichams. So if we can win this battle, we have a chance to win. We're going straight for the Psychic, and does the opponent respect this? Sadly, yes, he does. And he's going for a move, and since we threw the Psychic, we're expecting a Psychic back, but he baits us. So the opponent is in a much better position right now, but it's not over. Even though he has an advantage, we can still pull this back. We shield our second, and luckily we do shield the Psychic. And now if we want to win this matchup, we have to go for the power up punch bait, and he shields. So this means that we can win the CMP type because as you can see, our Medicham has 12 attack, and we had one counter we had like one counter advantage against the Registeel, right, if you remember correctly. So we switch and we try to catch, but it's absolutely fine because he has to throw anyway, otherwise we would reach a Shadow Ball, and he's forced to throw his move, which means we can comfortably reach the Psychic, and that is a good game. So that was all for the second match. And okay, so I think so a slight video editing error, but that's absolutely fine. We are up against a Deoxys, and this is not looking good. The opponent's Deoxys goes for Psycho Boost. Well, now I remember the match. Basically, we led our Noctowl into a Licky Tongue, and we switched out to our Deoxys. at a point, or rather I think he switched into his Deoxys, and we were quite confused what to do because we had no immediate answer to a Deoxys. He did massive damage to our Noctowl, and this Deoxys has ripped apart our team, and honestly we really didn't know how to play this game so far. Luckily it's a CMP tie, and now we can come in with Medicham and farm him down, but his Deoxys is alive with a lot of energy. So this is going to be really tough because we have a shield advantage, yes, but against the Deoxys is looking really bad. We are not shielding yet. There could be a Swampert or a hard hitter in the back, but we do shield it because the Psycho Boost would do a lot of damage. In comes the Medicham. We need 2 Psychics to KO this anyway, so we're going for 1 Psychic and we have to go for another Psychic. I'm going to try to catch on the Noctowl, count to 8, and we are able to catch the Psychic. But is this going to be enough to win? Let's see. So we are going to try to go for the Psychic just before he reaches the Psychic, but he throws an Ice Punch. So this is fine. We can easily tank an Ice Punch, and now I can overfarm by 4 or 5 counters. So I'm going to overfarm and throw the Power Up Punch. I was hoping that a Power Up Punch plus 1 counter can KO him because he needs 1 more counter, but sadly it does not, and we have to throw the Power Up Punch on the CMP tie because we know we win CMP with such a high attack. And now we can go for a double boosted Psychic against the DD. Does this take him out? Remember, we are double boosted, and it does not, and we lose that game. That was a heartbreaking game, but the safe switch of Deoxys on the opponent side just confused us. That was the first time someone safe switched a Deoxys into us, but from now on, if that ever happens to you and you're running the team, you should switch instantly to your own Deoxys because that is the best matchup. So picking up a lead against a Nidoqueen, what we do here is that we build up, we let him throw a Poison Fang because it does not do much damage, and then we switch out to our Deoxys. No point in throwing the Sky Attack because the Psycho Boost almost KOs anyway, and he tries to make a catch of the Psycho Boost on the Scrafty. Good play by the opponent, building up 7 Poison Fangs and poison jabs and switching out, and the Scrafty throws exactly on 7 again, which has to be a foul play, but it's absolutely fine. We can easily tank that. We can overfarm quite a bit and throw it just before he reaches a Power Up Punch, so this will guarantee a switch advantage, plus we'll have a Psycho Boost. We're expecting the Nidoqueen to come in, so we're going to blind throw the Psycho Boost, but you'll see it's not Nidoqueen that comes in, it's going to be an Obstagoon. So in hindsight, going for the Thunderbolt would have been a bit better, but that's absolutely fine because either way the counters is what does the real damage. So this match is not over. I mean, Obstagoon is fine for the Medicham, but the Nidoqueen has great matchups. So we take the first one, but sadly he gets the boost, which means that we have to shield this one. It would do massive damage, and the Nidoqueen can farm us down. So we don't have a choice. We have to shield. In comes a Nidoqueen, and we're going to let it go. He has 2 shields right now, so we can comfortably bait with the Power Up Punch. We have not shown our moves yet, so we can expect an Ice Punch. So we go for the pup, and we get the shield. We go for a Sky Attack here. We had a lot of loaded energy in the beginning of the game, if you remember, 5 wing attacks worth of energy, and now he brings in the Nidoqueen is quite loaded. We let the first one go because we are hoping to reach a Sky Attack, or we can reach a Psychic, either one. And now since we CMP tied, we can comfortably throw the Sky Attacks, and 2 or 3 wing attacks is going to take down the Nidoqueen. So Nidoqueen leads are a bit tricky to play, but it's fine. All you have to do is stay and force him to throw, and then safe switch to your DD. Remember, you always have to safe switch to your DD on this team to draw out the Ghost type, because it's the Ghost type which can beat the Medicham comfortably. So you really need to draw out the Sableye or the Ghost Tree or the Kofagrigus or any Ghost type that you can see. At this ELO range, honestly, we didn't see a lot of Alolan Marowaks. Anyway, we pick up a lead against a Walden. To be honest, we had bad leads throughout, and we are able to bring in the DD, which does pretty well here. He's going to go for the Spears, or he can bait with, he's going to go for the Spears. He does not go for the Earthquake. We throw the Thunderbolt just before he reaches his next Icicle Spear. The Walden dramatically outpaces the Deoxys, but as you can see, the counter damage really adds up. He's landed 2 Icicle Spears, and we have only done the counter damage so far, but even then we are almost at equal health. That's the power of counter, the most broken move in the game, and we get the second shield. In comes the Swampert. We are trying to swap out, but as you can see, the switch timer is not up. We don't want to give the Swampert any more energy, so we throw the Psycho Boost and instantly bring in the Noctowl. Now this is a hard read that the opponent did not have a good response to a counter user, so we read that our Medicham should be strong against this opponent, and he goes for the Hydro Cannon. We can tank that. We can overfarm a little bit, not too much, because you know the Swampert, you just take a look away and he has 5 Hydro Cannons loaded. So we take out the thing, and he makes a slightly questionable play because he was not counting our moves, I assume, which is why he throws the move. He did not need to. And now we can come in with the Medicham and just like punch down this fat walrus, and he has his own Medicham in the back. We have 2 shields, and now you'll see that even with the 2 shield advantage, we get a phone call, and this lone call is almost costing us the game, and that's causing a lot of, that's 4 or 5 seconds worth of lag, and he gets in 4 or 5 counters here, which is really bad. But can we win this in spite of the lag? The game is glitching with the screen recorder in the background. We let through a psychic because we don't know how much energy he had. We thought maybe it's a pup. We didn't want to get baited, and this is looking really bad. Does the lone call cost us the game? Let's find out. We're going for the pups. We're going for the counters. Can we reach a last second? Yes, we do, and that is a great game, a great set, and we highly recommend this team to all of you guys.